Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nerd Herd Comic Book Club. Your number one stop for stellar reviews of volumes, arcs, or stories that us or yourselves choose. You can find us live every Wednesday on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and the replay on all podcast networks. Take a seat, get yourselves and your opinions ready, as it's time to join the herd. But first, please put your hands together for your hosts, Shane, Phil, and Scott, as they kick off this week's discussion. Hello. Welcome to the Nerd Herd Comic Book Club Season 3 halfway show. This is a show where we literally does what it says on the tin, to be fair. We are going through what we have currently done so far in Season 3. If you're watching live, then you can see that it's just me and Phil. Say hi, Phil.
Hello. What's up, nerds?
I think you're going to literally be like, hey, Phil. And you can see as well that Shane isn't here today. Unfortunately, we originally wanted to do this tomorrow, but Shane couldn't make that. But he literally couldn't make any day this weekend. But we're a bit gutted because it's just the two of us.
Shane has a real social life, unfortunately, that we don't. So we were able to make it here for
Friday. He's taken the mantle, to be fair. I was off for a month.
Yes.
Essentially. So he's taken over for me. So
I'm off next month, folks.
It's your turn next month. So we wanted to do the halfway show because we have a few little things to announce that we're going to change and add or whatever. And we just want to talk about the books that we've already talked about this year so far, kind of deliberate some scores, and we'll also do the fun stats. We'll show you the big mega leaderboard of the whole show, and we'll show you what each of our averages are. So Phil, me, Shane, and the herd's picks as a whole, like we did for the end of Season 3. But we want to show you not yet. Phil, let's talk about something else.
Okay.
Oh man. Okay. So as a whole so far in Season 3, how have you been with it? How have you felt? How have you enjoyed it? Not enjoyed it?
Well, I think the stats are going to, technically speaking, prove me wrong when we get into it. But I actually think this has been our strongest year of quality books so far. But as we will see going forward, that maybe the scores don't reflect that. But I do think that what we've read has been, like, in terms of a lineup, like an overall lineup.
Yeah.
There's some pretty solid books there, and there's some real crackers still to come.
Yeah, you know what? That gave me an idea then. Maybe, I'm not going to do it right now, but maybe we should think of get an average for every season and see if we do improve. Maybe the average of the top 10. I don't know. I love making work for myself.
Yeah, you do. You love a stat, don't you?
I love a stat. But it just shows, it's a little, like, as we know, everyone who watches this, and it's a little bit of competition. It's a little bit of fun. You know what I mean? It's like, last season, your whole gimmick was, I'm going to win, and you're purposely playing funny buggers to do all this and do all that.
I didn't purposely play funny buggers. I did act up to the camera. I was playing a role of the kind of bitter, was the right word, bitter, but motivated to get to the top by all means necessary.
Yes.
I didn't actually, score you lower than, well, maybe the odd book. I got a few marks knocked off it, but
yeah,
it doesn't matter because at the end of the day, I swooped in anyway and took the lead to myself.
That's true.
But this year I've been quite mellow. I've allowed the scores to be as they are.
Yeah.
Very organic.
Before we go into more and more detail into things, initially as a quick thing, what has been your most standout book for this season? So far.
Honestly, even though I'm saying
I wonder what it is.
This is where I come across as really arrogant, right?
Yeah.
So even though I said the quality is really good in terms of I think it's quite solid, The books that stand out as the best ones are obviously the ones I've picked to read. I think there's been a few stinkers as well. I'm not going to talk about any snot or anything like that there, but I think you know what I mean.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Listen, I'll say it, Stray Dogs, to be fair. It's number one. It's the top spot. Pete picked it, and it was a book that kind of thought, it's no way it's going to be as good as it's hyped out to be.
Yeah.
But it was. So maybe that's an easy answer. That's top, but Stray Dogs.
Okay. Yeah.
And then Dark Knight Returns.
Okay. All right. Let's say hi to a few people first of all. We have No Good Comics coming in. Hey gang, happy Friday. Hey mate, how you doing? Thanks for joining. Martin's here. Evening all. Hi buddy. Chris is here. Scott needs to turn everything into a stat. I do. Man loves a stat. And Tottenham Gaming is saying Scott the Statistic Shelf. That's my actual surname now. I had it changed officially. My name is Scott. Scott Shelf. And Connie's here as well. Sup nerds.
You can't use that, Connie. Sorry, Connie. You cannot use this. That is mine. I own that. Sup nerds is me.
Okay, so first thing we'll bring to sort of announcement. We have made a small change to our intro. Okay. I want you guys to have a close eye, keep looking to try and find the new edition, and let us know in the comments if you can find it. Okay, so here it is. I'll play the new intro. Let us know if you can see the difference. Here we go.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Nerd Herd Comic Book Club. Your number one stop for stellar reviews of volumes, arcs, or stories that us or yourselves choose. You can find us live every Wednesday on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch, and the replay on all podcast networks. Take a seat, get yourselves and your opinions ready, as it's time to join the herd. But first, please put your hands together for your hosts, Shane, Phil, Scott, and Martin, as they kick off this week's discussion.
Did you guys catch it? Phil, did you notice what the?
No, but I wasn't really paying attention.
Oh, who's this? Who's this down
Hey,
here?
you know?
It's Martin. Hey, everyone! Martin is our new official member of the Nerd Herd Comic Book Club. He is now joining us every single week from now on to talk with us about the books and be part of. He's now one of the nerds and not one of the herds. He's crossed over.
Can't wait. It's going to be fun.
Great, man. It's I think without you knowing, it kind of felt like an inadvertent probation period when you were covering me for 4 or 5 weeks. And it was like, it got to a point on our on the little WhatsApp group we have. We literally just said, we may as well just ask him to come on at this point. Ask him to join us full time. And we thought, yeah, why not? And
I'm glad you did. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be so much fun.
It literally is the case because, obviously you covered Scott, and I was thinking, I'm going on holiday in May. I'm going to ask Martin now to cover me for May. And then Scott and Shane thinking, I'm on holiday these days. We'll get Martin to cover. Like, you were just stand in. It's like, you're right. Why isn't he part of it? It's like a most natural, organic way just to have him in. Plus, he gets to share the StreamYard fees with us, so it's cheaper for the three of us. Anyway.
Yeah, we still need to work that out. Yeah.
You got a chip in. It's all good. It's all good. I don't mind.
But like you started reading with us from the first episode of season 2, wasn't it?
Yes. Yeah.
And you haven't missed one since.
No, the first one I watched was the wrap-up show for season 1.
Yeah.
And it's when I first heard the lineup of what was coming in the Halloween month.
Yeah.
It was Something's Killing the Children that swayed me. And what was the other one? It wasn't Cold. Colder was on there. And there was another title on there that I wanted to read.
Was it Deceased or something? Like
that's it. Deceased.
Yeah.
And I just thought, I've got to start doing this. And I think I was talking to you on Instagram at the time. I said, look, I've just got to get into this, and I want to try different things. And I've not missed a week so far.
That's mental. You've actually read more than me, because I have missed weeks. Like there's been like 2 or 3 in this whole thing where I just haven't read because I haven't been able to. I haven't been around it. I just just couldn't make it. So you've read more than me.
I can't take all the credit though. My family's a big part of it. They're used to me having my time down to read. So my wife lets me do that. My little girl gives me my quiet time so I can sit and read the books every single week because they know I want to get into the hobby. Well, I've got into the hobby now. They're a big part to thank.
I thought you were going to say then, like, oh, my family helped me out. I thought you were just going to be like, oh, my wife reads the books. She tells me what to say.
She explains the pictures to me, so I know what's going on.
Your daughter helps you with the big words?
Yes, definitely.
Tottenham Gaming is saying the difference is that Phil got a haircut.
I did.
Yeah, that was it. And Connie has said, he's been on the show so much this season, I thought he was already a full-time member. Congrats.
Thanks, Connie.
Yeah, it's true. And I feel, Chris, I'm sorry. Chris, if you can prove that you've read every single one since season 2 as well, then we may consider it.
Chris has probably read every book we've read before.
Before the Nerdhood began. Yeah, definitely. So we have some stats, which I love, and we have some things to show off. What do you guys want to see? Do you want to see that, or do you want to talk about something else? Do you want to talk about your favorite things this season? We've already had Phil's, which was Stray Dogs and Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
Martin, what was yours?
Mine was Daredevil Born Again.
Straight in.
Oh, was it? It was Daredevil Born Again. We read, wasn't it? Yeah. Loved it. Yeah, really enjoyed that. I like Frank Miller as well, so I knew I was going to like that going into it. So to actually sit back and read it, really enjoyed it. And I think the one that I didn't see coming that I really enjoyed was Stray Dogs. I have to say,
Stray Dogs.
Yeah, Stray Dogs. I didn't think a lot of that, and then it surprised me. It's a good book.
Like, I heard with Stray Dogs, for example, like I never read it when it came out in single issues. A lot of people raved about this book, how good it was.
Big hype.
But I'm still thinking, like looking at it, like there's no way that might be okay to read. There's no way it's that good, or it should be as good as it is. And the fact that it does kind of currently occupy the top spot, with Daredevil Born Again, with Dark Knight Returns,
King of Spies.
Whatever.
King of Spies.
So it must be good. You mentioned King of Spies too. That's another one, to be fair, that again you wouldn't expect to be better than Born Again and Dark Knight Returns, but again, it holds its place. So well done.
The scores don't lie. The numbers don't lie. Chris is saying Martin is pure lushness, so he's a perfect aperitif to you three. An aperitif.
Thank you, Chris.
Nice. I love that. Martin, the aperitif. Yeah. And we have the upshot is Brian's here as well, so thanks very much.
No,
Brian is actually a very long time.
That's Scott's second Facebook account. That's the
Brian
one
is actually a very long time listener to the podcast. He sent a comment today actually on the Many Deaths at Later Star video saying he found us when we did Hotel and has followed us ever since and is currently diving through our backlog as well. So that's awesome. So it'd be really cool. Like, thank you for coming here today, and it'd be really cool to see you in the future. Because if you are joining in, we understand that you may have a life and don't want to sit with us for an hour every Wednesday. But if you are ever have the opportunity to join us live, then do join us live. It'd be great to see you and more. He also says it should have been a top pick 10 out of 10. I will bring that up later. So ones that have surprised me. So I'm trying to ones that I haven't read because King of Spies is the best scoring book of my picks on the top 10. But I think the one that I really loved is Power Rangers TMNT. that crossover was amazing. Absolutely loved it. And I think one that maybe took me by surprise was Friday.
Oh yeah,
When we did the Christmas picks. I thought I expected to be quite simple, but then how like psychedelic it got in parts, and how like dragged in I got into the whole relationship aspect. I'm a sucker for that as well. So Phil, pinks and purples, Scott, relationships. We need to find Martin's thing now as well. We're gonna have to like try and dig through that. Like what really grabs him in a book as well. It'd be really interesting.
You'll find out. You'll definitely find out.
Cool, man. I was really gutted that you weren't here last week, Martin, to have my back for Many Deaths of Layla Starr.
I would have had your back. That I was gobsmacked. This is why I didn't type anything in chat for about 10 minutes because Phil and Shane were just tearing into you. I was like,
were you too busy picking up your jaw?
I was just like, this is a really good book. And Phil's face tells it all.
In your opinion, it's just again. I don't want to go over Layla Starr. I feel bad for Scott because for the first 20 minutes of that stream, he was very defeated. And it's like that's not what this is about. We're going to be and like raise the mood, ideally, but that book just wasn't as good as what people had made it out to be. I definitely felt like it was missing something. I felt kind of dumb reading it because like I'm not getting this. I'm not getting the hype. Like what am I missing here? And it just wasn't as good as I think it's meant to be.
I knew there was some hype around the book. I'm totally with you on that. But I think I learnt my lesson from Something Is Killing the Children. I just sort of thought, right, let's put the hype aside. Let's give it a go. Let's see what it's like. And I enjoyed it. I think when you put that hype into it, your expectations are up here. And unfortunately, if you don't get anywhere near that, it just destroys it, unfortunately.
But I did say I really enjoyed the first issue and the last issue. I didn't see the need to have the 3 issues in between because it didn't do anything. So, sorry.
No, everyone's entitled to their opinion, aren't they? It's that's the whole point of having the discussion over it. Is to snowball the ideas.
Totally. Any books that took you by surprise? Also, everyone in the comments as well, please let us know the books that you... any books that took you by surprise or what your best one is, worst one is. Let us know.
What took by surprise? One book really has resonated with me since we read it, and I don't know why it's stuck with me. Is it The Autumnal?
Oh yeah.
I actually quite enjoyed that. That's just something that stuck with me the whole time. It was a very unique book. One of yours, Scott, if I remember rightly.
It was my pick, my horror pick.
Yeah, I quite enjoyed that one.
See? I'm so glad we've asked Martin to join. We really get on, He's going to have my back from now on.
But don't forget, another one, actually, Martin, that you need to raise is the Naughty List. How much you love that.
Oh, yeah.
Scott didn't. So he's not having my back too.
No, the Naughty List deserves so much more. That was such a good book.
The Naughty List is 10 times better than Layla Starr.
If it had another issue, just missing that last issue, unfortunately.
That's problem. But again, I know that you enjoyed that as much as I did. So going forward, he would have my back too. I think Martin could easily side with all of us.
Oh, definitely.
Or none, which is entertaining.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Brian is saying Autumnal was a great read and I had a great ending. Yeah. Connie is saying Stray Dogs took her by surprise. I think it did me as well, to be fair. I didn't know anything about it really going in. So yeah, that was one of the ones where, there was hype, but I didn't know anything about it and I didn't know what to expect. So I kind of had a blank slate. My bar wasn't up here. And so it was down here and it was raised, as I was reading it. So I was quite happy with that. happy.
It made you care about the characters as well, which is the main parts. Whenever they were sent back to the shed, you know, you felt for them, and yeah, to do that so easily with a book about dogs, drawn in the Disney style that it was.
Yeah,
But
it was the artist from like the My Little Pony books, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
So so if you haven't read it, you can kind of imagine that kind of cutesy style, but it was like horrific. It was really like traumatizing.
It was like an adult version of Oliver and Company, the Disney movie.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Can we I just would like to promote something. You guys are all here today. We wanna keep you here for a little bit. We are having a giveaway. If you can see on the bottom of the screen, we are doing. We're sending a few copies of our notebooks. We're sending copies of our old bookmarks, our new bookmarks, and you can see down there we got some stickers as well. So we are going to be giving away. Phil, we reckon three bunches.
That's a good number.
Yeah. Because we actually haven't given any away in ages because Martin has won the last Herd's Choice, so he already has his copies. Liam has a copy, and Pete has a copy as well. So but those we've had a few Herd's Choices, but we've had Pete once, Beth once, Martin twice, Liam twice. That's who we've had so far this year. So we would like, first of all, we'd like some new people to come on for the Herd's Choice or win the Herd's Choice. So I think, Martin, you have to stop now.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, now that I'm on the show every week, I won't be participating in the Herd's Choice anymore. So I'm going to hold on to my choices for when I get to throw my hat in the ring. Yeah. So I'm currently building that up as we speak. So
great.
Watch this space.
Awesome. Nice. So, yeah, we're going to put all your names on a wheel. So keep watching, and then we'll spin the wheel at some point in the show, and we'll send you a copy of our merch. And you can have that for free. There we go. So, please share along, I nearly wrote Martin's name down then. I'm just going off the comments we've had so far. Like, oh, yeah, Martin's there. Cool. There we go. Great. So yeah, Phil, anything you want to bring up or ask or
you put me on the spot.
Or Martin.
I don't know.
No,
you've caught me off guard now.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Fine.
Here's my prep for the show.
Oh, I've got none as well. What is your favorite pick, Phil, from me and Shane?
I don't know, because who picked Battle Pug? Who was that? That was you. No, I don't like that.
Are we going worst pick? Sorry, worst pick we're choosing here.
Worst or
no.
Best? Oh, okay.
Favorite,
it wouldn't be Battle Pug then.
Okay.
Battle Pug.
This is the thing. I know I said at the start, like, with a really strong lineup, but I am just going to consider my own books for that, my own picks. Supergirl, Peter David, I liked that from Shane.
Yeah.
I think for some reason, and the boys too. Boys was okay, I suppose. I would go with that for Shane. For yourself,
okay.
Would be King of Spies. I think, because unfortunately, in my opinion, you've picked King of Spies up here, and then like Snuck Girl like down here. So it's like,
oh, so that's the best and the worst. Yeah.
No, Autumnal was pretty bad, which is weird because you guys were talking about how good it was. It's like I didn't like it either. But maybe
Snuck Girl, mate.
Yes, Snuck Girl.
Okay.
Was not
all
good.
Right.
What was your favorite of mine and Shane's?
Okay, so yours. I'm probably going to go with Fantastic Four, Full Circle.
Nice.
For your choice. And I think from Shane, let's have a quick look. See, I've done the averages as well, and I'm gonna go for probably, even though it hasn't scored very high, probably looking at the list now, I'm gonna go probably for Umbrella Academy from Shane.
Oh, really? Oh, interesting.
For the story, I think. Oh, actually, we didn't do it quite well, did we? I'm just remembering it now. That you said that the story in the comic was a lot more simpler than how it was in the show, and the show expanded everything in the book. A Supergirl, then I'll go for that as well.
Okay.
As well.
That's mine.
Martin?
I know what mine are. For Shane, it's definitely Supergirl. I've got a lot of love for Shane's passion for DC 90s stuff, so I just want to read more of it. So definitely Supergirl from Shane. Phil is easily Daredevil Born Again, so hands down, and it's definitely following with Dark Knight Returns straight after it. So 2 Frank Millers.
Nice.
And for you, Scott, it's going to be King of Spies and Many Deaths of Later Star. They are my 2 top ones.
And Many Deaths.
Yeah.
See, you hear that, Phil? Reasonable.
Who picked Guardians of the Galaxy?
How's your choice?
Liam. Okay, I liked it.
Liam picked that. Yeah.
I was thinking it was your pick actually, but no, yeah, that was a good one. Better than Later Star, in my opinion.
Ooh, okay. All right. Shall we spin our first wheel?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do it.
Spin our first wheel. We'll spin our first wheel, and then
active in the chat.
Yeah, so I've written everyone's names who are down. There's currently 3 people watching on YouTube, 1 person watching on Twitch. So I don't know if the person on Twitch wants to put a little comment in if you want to join in and see if you can win something as well. But if you're not here, you haven't won. That's it. So if you are here and you have won, great. So let's get you guys in here. Okay. So I've got No Good Comics, Off My Shelves, Tottenham Gaming, Connie, Upshot, and Highland G. So, who's going to win? Who do you think? Here we go. It's Chris. He did leave a comment about 5 minutes ago saying, I'm still waiting for my copy. So there we go. He now has his copy. Yeah, it'll be in the post. I think Phil's just gone. He is. I think he's having connection issues. So there we go. There's our first winner. So we'll get that shipped off to Chris. He is here. He says it's lucky. I would have rioted. That's awesome. So Chris, if you want to send me your address, we'll get this sent off to you in the next week. There we go. So do you want just an OG bookmark, or do you want just an OG old bookmark, or do you want one of both? Let me know. We'll send you a couple anyway. Yeah, Phil's bringing them. So yeah, okay. Brilliant. So there we go. First winner, fantastic. So guys in the chat, if you've got any questions for us about the season, let us know as well. We'll answer them as well. But I was hopefully Phil will come back, because I wanted to go through the mega leaderboard next. The leaderboard that we have to cover the whole of every book we've ever read, and at the moment we're currently on 130 books. So yeah, since the very first season, our very first book, I've again added them onto the leaderboard that we made last year, and what's my thought? And I'll show them. I'll show them in a minute. Chris is also asking for a signed photo of all of us. You pick the photo. No, I'm joking. I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind signing the book if I'm the one sending it. Because I got copies to send. Phil's got a copy to send. Shane's got a copy to send. So we will get it out.
If you want, I mean, I could send pair of my underwear if you want that, Chris.
If you really want it,
Yeah.
let him know.
Topless.
Topless. Okay, I'm out. Right. So, Phil, we're going to go into the mega leaderboard, the overall massive, gigantic leaderboard that we've been amassing. All 130 books that we've read.
In
130.
total? Well, that's a lot. Like,
Yeah.
that is a lot.
It's a big number.
You don't think of it, do you? You know,
Mhm.
52 a year. So that's 104. And then we've done 26 more so far. So yeah, 130 books. Okay, so we'll show you the current mega board top 10. Here we go. So nothing from season 3 is on there yet. Well, Stray Dogs is joint with 6th place with Saga Volume 2, Kingdom Come, and there are some others as well. Well, the only other 8.8 is also Old Man Logan. So our top book so far this year is joint 6th with 3 other books that we've read over the years.
There's some big names there, though. There's some good titles there. It's a hard one to get to the top 5.
Not unless you like. I picked the books, of course, because there's 4 in that top 10 that I picked. That I'm responsible for. Scott,
One is mine.
how many picks do you have in there? Killer Be Killed, is that yours? Is it?
No, Lock and Key.
Shane, I think.
Oh, Lock and Key. Okay. Meh.
Lock and Key and I can't remember if I chose Sire as well.
Possibly, because if I remember rightly, Amy picked the first volume, for the first Herd's Choice, wasn't she?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, so you may have
Yeah, she
picked
was
that as
the
part of
first
the
ever Herd's
sequels.
Choice, yeah.
So you may have picked that as part of your sequels month. Because Shane definitely wouldn't have picked that
Maybe,
because he
maybe.
hated volume.
Yeah. But then, also, I don't know if you want to consider it also as top 10, but we also have Old Man Logan and Stray Dogs as well, which is that you had, Phil. And then that is Pete's pick as well then for Stray Dogs.
Yeah. Nice.
I never realised how much Phil is dominating the top 10.
Say that again. Say that.
I didn't realise how much Phil is dominating the top 10.
Oh, that sounds good. I like it. I mean, I can't take any credit. I didn't write any of these books or draw any of the pictures off these books, but I do have a knack of picking good stories. And some bad ones as well.
You do.
Apparently.
Okay. Yeah, we've all picked bad ones. Shall we move on to the rest?
Yes.
Yeah, let's
I
take a
got
look.
another 120 books to look through. Okay.
Obviously, the things like
Here we go. So,
like Old Man Logan, Stray Dogs,
sorry,
Pulp,
I think there's a lag.
Klaus.
Oh.
Yeah. Like when you don't see the little kind of what do you call it, little thumbnail off it, it just kind of looks like it's like we don't really consider it as a good book. If you know what I'm trying to say. But there's so much quality in there. Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 1, Wonder Woman Dead Earth. Wow. We've read some really good books.
The whole left side from 6 to 10 there is just hit after hit after hit.
As it should be. Like, I think whenever you're reading books, like not just comics, like novels, like you want them all to be good. I get the idea that sometimes you have to read the kind of rubbish ones to appreciate the good ones. But it's just like, why would you not want to just read good stories every week? And they are some crackers. So if you are new to the Nerd Herd and you're maybe watching us for the first time, do consider joining us on a Wednesday and reading along as Martin did. Because now Martin is you've read along with us for a year and a half now.
Yeah.
Every week. So it's like you're also getting these cracker stories.
Exactly. There's some sort. You look at everything on this page so far. It's only until you're getting on the third row we're moving out of the eights, and eights are big titles. there's nothing here on this page that's a 7.5 or below 7.5, should we say?
And again, look at some like the timeless classic Batman Year One, The Long Halloween, the kind of like the Sandman, like the hype around something's killing the children, and they're just so far away from the top 10.
It's insane, but it's a really good list.
Definitely.
And what was it? Some people have said, I think it was Comics vs. the World, has said, anything above a 6 he considers good, and I think I'd agree. Yeah. 5 is average. People don't really tolerate 4s or belows, but then anything above a 6, that's not a bad story.
Yeah, because that's where I'm coming from at times. Like I think I do feel sometimes if you read a story and you really enjoy it, it's easy to get hyped yourself and maybe overscore things. I'm pretty certain I have overscored some books in the past. I don't just mean my own picks. I'm just talking about books. Like
Liar.
I've enjoyed them that much. I need something a bit extra, but in theory, 6+ is a good book. It's the same thing if you're watching a movie or you look up at IMDb for a movie. Anything 6+, you're thinking that's okay. I'll watch that. It's worthy of a watch. Just like a 6+ is worthy of a read, even if it's like a 5 something. It's one of those ones I could still want to read it, but I'll maybe look a bit more into it in terms of a few more different reviews of other people or whatever. But generally speaking, 6+, you're got quality.
And I'm looking through this as well. Just go in. Monsters Volume 1 is there. Love that. The Hikatea, that was really cool. 8.6 for that one. Let's see. The Kill Lock, surprising book. That was pretty good. 8.1 there. Deadly Class. We've done Volume 1 and 2 of that. For Volume 1 and 8 out of 10. But yeah, some awesome books.
Sorry if I'm quiet. I'm just looking through all these titles.
Yeah,
it's just I can't think of a bad word about many of them. We've had some really good ones.
We talked earlier in this show about. Sorry, go ahead.
Chris has said, interesting that most of the top 10 are the same authors. 2 for Miller, 2 for Brubaker, 2 for Busick, 2 for Vaughan. Yeah, a bit of a theme, isn't there?
Yeah. I sense a theme that collecting stats is good for Welshmen. Must be a thing for the Welsh too.
Yeah.
2 Welshmen, 2 stats game.
Yeah. Highland G is saying 5 is halfway, but so 6 is above average. Yeah, I know. I know, 6 is above average, but I'm with standards now, the things that people like to read now, people will only tolerate, I think, a 6 or higher. Anything below that is I'll read it later.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, I definitely think a 6 makes you look at it as in a consideration to read it. Or
yeah.
One that stands out there for me actually is Intense Spots, Secret War. People be thinking to themselves, but you guys hated Secret Wars. That's actually a book that stood out probably in terms of the whole
war.
Yeah, in terms of the whole run we have had. Books stand out and surprise you. That's probably one that surprised all of us because we had read Secret Wars and Secret Wars 2. We were expecting that to be an absolute pile of piss, but it was actually quite good.
Because that was a Nick Fury story, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, it was. But it was that was the one that was drawn by Federici. I forget his first name, and it's painted like Alex Ross would paint his stuff. But I just think that was done slightly better. Really, really good. Really enjoyed that. Okay, let's move on. Here we go. Here's the next chunk. We got one more page after this as well. So this is all the books now. Another how many is this? 42 books there, I think, between 7.5 and 5.9. So still above that average, the halfway 5. What's jumping out at you there? Maximum Carnage should at least be closer to the top 10.
No. I'm not letting you have that at all. If I can't have Many Deaths at Later Star, you can't have Maximum Carnage.
I can't believe the Star got 0.4 better than Maximum Carnage.
Many Deaths, that is now joint 8th, right, on this season. In this leaderboard, though, it's joint 19th with Dave. Right, think about that, Phil. Dave.
Dave was good though.
I Hate Fairyland Volume 1, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz,
They
and
were all
then
good.
Supergirl.
But they're all good books. I'm not saying Isle of Stars not. I just meant like I know what you're saying because Dave was one of the ones that I never
Dave
heard
1
of.
was good.
It was good. I Hate Fairyland again for what it was in terms of got like Volume 2 got pretty poor, but the first one was really good. The Wonderful Wizard of Oz was a delight, an absolute delight to read. And then Hot Supergirl Book 1, which is books that me and Martin have mentioned as like a standout of Shane's picks. So
Yeah.
the company you have there isn't too bad. I think in terms of how it looks for yourself, in terms of like again the hype of what this book should have been, that's so far down that list. It is pretty far from the top 10. But
Andrew is saying Young Justice is one of his favorites. Such a fun run. That was really good.
Yeah, it was. I enjoyed that.
Though. Yeah, 6.8, joint 24th with Black Widow's Shield Most Wanted, Critical Role Volume 1, and Monstrous Volume 2. What was interesting, creating this leaderboard, that The Boys this year was our very first 6.7 for the leaderboard.
Wow.
We've never had a 6.7, so that's pretty cool. So filling that spot with The Boys. And then, let's have a look. We got 5 books in a 6.6. See, Once and Future, I still feel hard done by that as well. 6.6 needs more.
Yeah. I did say after the first year of our first year wrap up, I did say that show that maybe that book should have scored higher than it did.
Yeah.
But again, I think the problem with that was the fact that, again, with the hype, you're expecting something. Your expectations are higher than maybe they should be.
Yeah.
And it didn't deliver on what I thought I was going to get.
Right.
But I've read the second volume and I've bought the hardcover, so I'm gonna damn read the whole thing.
Oh yeah.
And,
can't wait for the next hardcover to
yeah.
cover the last 2 volumes. Martin, anything's jumping out on this page?
Yeah, I think World War Hulk should have been put down a bit more. I think it was very generous for the 6.6.
Where's that?
I think. See, I like Black Widow as well. Mark Wade's run. I've really enjoyed that. Yeah, I think that should have gone up a bit more. I'm quite surprised. Yeah, I'm trying to look towards the lower end of stuff. Really, I'm so shocked that Middle West Volume 1 is 32. That's really surprised me. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, well, the story's definitely improved so far. We've read Volume 2.
Yeah.
And that's... Oh, it wasn't our top 10 at the start, wasn't it? Start of this season, but it was on the... Where is it now? It's on the other page. It's not even there.
Yeah.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay, anything else on this one?
For me, I'm just surprised Snot Girl is as high as it is. Sorry. So I'm not a fan of Snot. I can't... This is where I'm agreeing with Shane and Phil on this. Snot Girl was not good.
But look,
for me personally,
some of us have to pick some variety for the show and get some, air quotes, bad books in the leaderboard. I personally really enjoy Snot Girl. You all know this. I don't know why. It's just, I just find it so intriguing, so encapsulating that I just needed to find out more. And for anyone who is a fan of Snot Girl, they are the artist, I think Leslie Hung. She has confirmed that more is coming up this year. There we go.
Just you mentioned Middle West there. Sorry, book 2 is actually 22nd with Maximum Carnage on 7.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
and just reminds you of a book there, Oblivion Song, one of my picks. I do think should have scored higher. But
yeah, I'm with you on that. Definitely. I enjoyed that too.
All right. Okay, cool. Moving on to the last page then. See what we got all the way down the bottom.
Now, this is the section to pretty much avoid, I'd say. We've read it for everyone, so you don't have to.
I think everything from... I would say, from position 41 down, take it or leave it.
Yeah. Runaway
Yeah.
Do you
So
for-
go on.
Dave 2, like, I feel like you don't need it. Dave 1 was good as it is, as a one and done. I think
That's
if you
true.
go further to read Dave 2, you're not going to appreciate it as a whole. So I would avoid Dave 2. And to be fair, I'm a Spider-Man fan. Lethal Foes of Spider-Man, I can't quite remember. So I would pretty much say that's not. Don't even try that. Just,
That was when all the lethal foes of Spider-Man came at him, and Vulture had cancer and everything, and there were all these B-list heroes that joined to help the fight, and none of us knew who they were. It was a bit weird.
And speaking of books, actually the bottom list, you shouldn't avoid them all, because number 44, Superman Up in the Sky, is not a 4.5.
You're right. It's a 3.5.
Yeah, if you ever want to get into Superman, that's not the book to start on.
You're correct.
Martin.
That's not the book to start on. Yes. However, whenever that episode aired, I had a few people message me on Instagram, and they're not our regular people in the chat or things. As people you wouldn't maybe watch our show later on. They did say that no, you're right. That Superman Up in the Sky is far better than what was portrayed here. It's just.
So it was like that kind comment I had from Brian today about Layla Starr. So we've all been there. But there we go. Okay, so just for anyone listening on the podcast, I say 41 onwards. So that is don't avoid them, but take them with a pinch of salt, I guess. You have Wacky Raceland, Bite Sized, both coming in at number 5. Battle Pug, 4.9. Pretty Violent, 4.6. Superman Up in the Sky, 4.5. Sorry, Phil. Nameless, 4.3. Onslaught, 4.3. Daveocracy, the third Dave book in the series, and the last one, 3.9. Zombies Christmas Carol, 3.5. Doctor Strange, Strange Origins, 3.3. Witchblade, Volume 1, 2.8. And Secret Wars 2, 2. There we go.
2, that's pathetic, isn't it?
I know. There we go.
I feel quite lucky because there's a few titles on there that I haven't read because they were read in season 1. So I missed a few.
We've avoided a few
bad choices.
Yeah. All right. Should we spin the wheel again?
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Spin the wheel. Okay. Let me just get it here. Anytime today. Here we go. Right. There we go. So we still have we've got Connie, Tottenham Gaming, Upshot, Highland G, and No Good Comics. If you're not in the chat, you're not going to win. So if you're in the chat, great. Here we go. Diddly diddly dee. You can't hear the noise, can you? I don't think I
heard it a little bit there.
That setting. Oh, okay. Here we go. So Upshot's the winner. If he's in the chat, great. Let us know again. What type of bookmark would you like? Would you like one of the older ones? Would you like one of the newer ones? Or would you like a bit of both? And we'll send you some stickers as well and a bookmark. There we go. Hope he's in the chat. If not, we'll have to get something else. Shall we move on to my favorite bit, the stats?
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do it. Phil, are you ready?
Should we move on to your favorite bit, the stats? I thought we'd done stats.
Nah, more. More
stats.
No, so this is the one now where I have taken everyone's picks. And so I've got Phil's picks, my picks, Shane's picks, and I've got the average score of your picks so far this season.
Oh.
All right. So bear with me. Let me just get this ready. So here we go.
Looks like he's bracing himself.
So we'll start with Philip. Okay. So he's had 7 books so far. Unfortunately, because of the way this has lied, Phil and me have got 7 books, and Shane and the Herd's Choice have got 6 books. But it's all been averaged out, so it should work out in the end. So, Phil, your 7 in order: Dark Knight Returns, 8.6. Marvel's 8.5. Daredevil Born Again, 8.3. Fantastic Four Full Circle, 7.9. Oblivion Song Chapter 1, 7. Vampire State Building, 6.4. And Naughty List, 5.3.
Mm-hmm.
on average, you have scored 7.4.
Ooh, nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So, right, we'll have predictions as well. Martin as well. Everyone in the chat, put your predictions out as well. Has Phil gotten more or less than me, Shane, and the herd? You know, is he above me and Shane, or is he lower than me? Is he higher than Shane? You know, that kind of thing. What do you think? Okay. So we'll move on to Shane's. It's not here. But Shane has had Supergirl Book 1, 7.4. The Boys Volume 1, 6.7. Maniac in New York, 6.3. The Last Christmas, 5.9. He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Volume 1, 5.8. And also Umbrella Academy, Volume 1, 5.8 as well. What do you think?
I think Phil's still got it.
Phil still got it?
Yeah.
6.3 on average, but this is bearing in mind we are going to have there's one less book here for Shane's, but still a pretty decent lineup, still a good chunk of books you could read and enjoy. Supergirl, we also really like Supergirl. The Boys is great for anyone who has either seen or not seen the series. Maniac in New York, that's
a strange one.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it. It was strange. Haven't they just announced a hardcover?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like an omnibus?
Which I find strange that it's getting the hardcover treatment, because I didn't think it was that popular. But it must be.
Well, it's only getting the one we've read already and the sequel. It's not getting the third one that's currently out. And I think there's a bit of talk about Aftershock at the moment having a few issues, so there's a chance that if you buy it, they may not print the third one in a hardcover, or a fourth potentially if they do it.
Right.
So at your own risk.
Okay, all right, fair enough. The Last Christmas, was that the one? There was one Christmas book I didn't read. I didn't read Battle Pug, even though it was my pick. The Last Christmas, that was the one where he basically lived forever, wasn't it? Was that the one?
That's my one. That's the naughty list.
Oh yeah, sorry.
The Last Christmas, that's the one with he went to war with the elves and Mrs. Claus and.
Oh, I didn't read that one either.
Yeah. Didn't he get drunk, get completely plastered, and the elves had to bring him back to?
Yeah, and the elves were all into attending, ladies of the night and stuff like this and all, and doing drugs and whatever else, and it was strange. Basically, if you want to know about Shane's personality, read The Last Christmas, because he's all over
that. To go back on Maniac of New York, Highland G said Aftershock collected editions are a bit unpredictable. It's cool that they're doing collected editions, though. It's quite good.
Of course, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, next up we got me. So I got King of Spies, 8.6. Many Deaths of Layla Starr, 10 out of 10. The Autumnal, 7.4. The Autumnal, 7.1. Middle West Book 2, 7. Snot Girl Volume 2, 5.8. Battle Pug, War for Christmas, 4.8. Again, I didn't read this. And Davocracy, 3.9.
I think Phil still takes it.
Yeah, between me and Shane.
I'm in between you and Shane by 0.1. I'm 0.1 above Shane.
I'm a whole one above
Phil,
you.
Are you writing these down?
Yes, of course I am. This is like getting praise or good homework or something. It's like, I'm going to tell my wife after this and go, look, I got these are the scores.
Look how good I am, babe.
Yeah,
that's amazing. All right, cool. So yeah, King of Spies. I'm really glad I picked this for the herd. This definitely seemed to be up a lot of people's streets. A lot of people seem to enjoy this. I cannot wait, and I really hope it does come out on Netflix. Be really interesting to see how they translate it.
I hope so too, but I'm hoping it's a movie, not a TV show. I just want an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes. Like, I don't want to say mind numbing in a bad way. I just mean I just want to switch off and watch an action movie like this. Don't have to make it harder than what it needs to be, because it was good fun.
Yeah, totally agree. Yeah. Middle West as well. I was really happy with. Glad it improved on the first one.
Definitely.
Snot Girl, just a kind of book I just needed to carry on reading for unknown reasons. And Dave Ocracy as well. I'm just really happy that we finished that series now.
Yeah, and to be fair, I think that, for the guys watching, we've picked our year's books, and
Yeah.
one of your themes, Scott, was you wanted to complete certain things.
I wanted to do more sequels because,
Yeah,
like I said, we're on 130 books now. I don't really want to do volume ones all the time.
yeah. So that's the main. Over the course of the next 6 months, there will be other series that we'll be finishing, like volume 3s off. So we'll complete the entire season. Hence why you keep the stat of overall average of the actual title. Because like the Middle West, I'm not sure if we're reading actually book 3 at any point, but as a complete story, which I've read the whole thing, it's far better than volume 1 leaves you to believe overall. So it is hard. That's one of the downsides to kind of the weekly nerd herd, is that if you are reading a volume 1, you're not getting the full picture of that story. It's more like a snapshot of what to expect. So that's why we all say take it with a pinch of salt, our opinions and views, because until you read the whole thing, you just don't know. But again, things like Dave Ocker say, we could tell you now not to bother. Just read Dave and don't read the sequel.
Have it as that, yeah.
Yeah, because I think you've got a strong lineup here, Scott. You have got a good lineup. I think Battle Pug and Dave Ocracy is what has brought your score down. They are the two.
Oh, yeah, definitely. But I like to bring that variety. I like to pick different things. Yeah, like I said, 6 is a good score. I'm happy with a 6.
It's above average.
Yeah, right. Let's come to the herd to see how they do. Philip against the herd. So I've even written down who picked these books as well. So Stray Dogs from Pete at 8.8. Power Rangers TMNT crossover from Martin, 8.3. Self Storage from Beth at 7.8. Martin again with another TMNT crossover with Batman, 7.5. Liam then picked Friday the First Christmas, 7.3. And then Lee also picked Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, 6.6.
They run away with it easily.
Yeah, that's got this.
Yeah.
7.7. Was that 0.3 above you? Is that what it was? Yeah.
But if somebody was going to have a higher average score than me, I'm glad it was the herd. Do you know what I mean? It's just, because between us three, Mishi and Scott, I'm top dog.
that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Great. Nice. I didn't prepare anything specifically for the series leaderboards, but if you guys wanted to see it, we can go through it. If not, we can talk about something else if you have anything else you want to talk about.
To be fair, like obviously I had an insight into the year and what we've had, and me and Scott and Shaman, we know what we all like type of thing. So we've also read a few Batman books as well this year, Scott, and obviously with Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah.
And I know last season you were Batman out to the point where I wasn't allowed to pick Dark Knight Returns. I wanted to pick it last year, so it hasn't changed your opinion. There's another Batman book still to come.
Yeah, I think with Dark Knight Returns, I think it was something you needed to read when it was out or not long after it was out. But, now there's been nearly 40 more years of Batman books after that. I think, like, the ramifications in that book don't really mean much anymore. Yeah.
That's fair. But I do have this kind of, what's the word, like, I feel like I can go back and piece things together. And the fact that I have read Dark Knight Returns, it makes me think about the newer books that have used parts of it, like the movies as well, that's used parts of this book. I think that's I go backwards that way, and I just think that's why I love it that much. It basically raised like the standard, or raised like not raise the standard, what's the word, like give it an even bigger foundation of what Batman should be. and then let the current creators take it from there. And I'm not against changing things, by the way. Like I'm by all means, I think they should be creative enough to try and change stuff if they have to, if it fits the story. But it's one of those things. If you're going to change something or add something, it needs to be better than this. Do you know what I mean? It's like the benchmark type of thing.
Yeah. Okay. So it's laid the groundwork, laid the foundations.
Yeah.
See, I agree. I'm not the biggest Batman fan. I like Batman, don't get me wrong. I just personally prefer certain other characters from DC. But books like The Dark Knight Returns, Batman Year One, they're not only iconic, but they're pillars in what make Batman. If you're going to get into Batman, you need to read these titles at some point. And The Dark Knight Returns, I watched the anime animation block one before the book, and it just made me feel so good reading it after watching that. So I would have felt the same way going the other way, watching the animation after reading the book as well. It's iconic. It is amazing.
I watched the animated movie like the next day after, and after our live stream, and it is really good. It's not quite the same. How to put this? Like, it does have like kind of scene for scene, but it doesn't have the same kind of feel of the book had.
Yes,
you know what I'm trying to say. But it was still really, really good. And if you haven't watched the animated movie and you don't really want to read Dark Knight Returns, I would, watch the animated movie and enjoy it, and that be the story of Batman for you. But yeah, that was a great animated movie.
Okay, shall we look at the series?
Yeah.
What we've had so far. Series is that we've either finished or continued with. So here's our top 10. Number 1, Batman New 52 from issues 1 to 12. So the whole Court of Owls, City of Owls stuff. Joint with Saga, issues 1 to 12 as well. I wonder if we'll ever carry on with that.
Of what, sorry?
Saga.
I hope so, because I haven't read any of it. So it's going to be a hard reading session for me.
Oh, it'll be a good reading session, if anything. Yeah. Like, I actually have the first 7 volumes, and I've never read on because I want someone to pick it for the herd. That's literally it. Deadly Class, issues 1 to 11, 8.1. Skyward, 1 to 10, 7.8. I actually have read on, and I finished this.
Yep. I've read on too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Same.
Planet Hulk and World War Hulk together, 7.4. Something's Killing the Children, 1 to 10, 7.3. Monstrous, 1 to 12, 7.2, along with I Hate Fairyland, 1 to 10. Once in Future, 1 to 12, 7. And the entire run of Klaus, 7 out of 10 as well.
Again, this is the, kind of what I mentioned about Dave and Daveocracy. Like, Klaus to get a 7 seems wrong, but those 2 other volumes, I'm not saying they were bad, they're just entirely different to what you got in the first book. And it makes that 7, it makes Klaus sound like it's not as good as it is. Like, Klaus is a 9 out of 10 all day long, easy. Similar to Planet Hulk and World War Hulk. Planet Hulk was great. I loved Planet Hulk. I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah.
World War Hulk just was not in the same. It was not in the same ballpark. It was entirely different. Like, the feel of the book, I didn't like it at all. Well, I didn't like it at all. Probably scored high enough, but it's like I didn't like it in comparison to Planet Hulk. And Planet Hulk, I think, scored quite high, 8 point something overall. So it does happen that the sequels can obviously make or break the entire season. And there's books here probably should be higher than what they are.
Yeah, because I think the Dave run was on this top 10 until we read Daveocracy, and then it brought it right down, and we'll show you that in a minute. But I'm really pleased with this lineup.
Yeah, again,
and I'm really hoping we read more, and I'm really hoping we read new volume 2s and onwards for other volume 1s we have, just so we can expand this part of the leaderboard.
Because the likes of Saga, like, I remember with Chris's video for Image Comics, like, they picked the best Image Comics title. Yeah. I picked Saga because it's fantastic.
Yeah,
and I just feel like as an overall series, that should probably be in some of the best comics ever written. And also 8.5 is still a really good score. I'm not saying obviously it's not a fantastic score, but I would dare say there'd be some people would be saying it's a 9.5, maybe close to a 10 for some people. Overall, series.
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Martin?
There's definitely 2 on this list. I'm not going to say because they may be future picks, but there's definitely 2 on this list I would like to see continued. So yeah, I won't say which ones because they may be future picks of mine in a potential sequel. So
should we guess, Phil? Like, I know we know what's coming up, right? But shall we guess what Martin wants to see?
Yeah, I think one's easy enough. I think Deadly Class is one, to be honest. I think he's thinking about that.
Okay.
I was gonna say Something's Killing the Children.
What's his future, maybe?
Maybe as well.
Let's say one of you's right.
Okay, let's.
I'm just trying to think what he's bought. That's what I'm thinking. What does he own on his shelves?
Go on his Instagram. Quick. Let's have a look. Just a quick look at the rest of the leaderboard then for the series. So Thor. This is a weird one. Thor: God of Thunder 1 to 12, and then Thor 1 to 8. So this is part of the Jason Aaron run, but we've kind of read the first 12 issues of the Jason Aaron, and then we skipped ahead quite a bit, and then read issues 1 to 8 of just Thor with Jane Foster. So that gets a 7. Middle West 1 to 12. The first 2 books 6.5. Snot Girl Volume 1 and 2 5.8. The whole run of Dave 5.5. Dave Ocracy really brought that down. And then we got Secret Wars and Secret Wars 2. Do we include, Phil, Secret War to this bit? Or do we leave it?
I think we leave it because it was entirely different. Like, it's called Secret War, yes, but that's literally Secret Wars. Secret Wars 2.
Yeah.
Cool.
Got to separate those.
Yeah.
And plus, Secret Wars was good. And you don't want to raise the score of those 2 books up higher than what they should be.
So that's true.
But looking at that just makes me think we've got to add some more sequels because that is not populated enough.
Yeah.
For the amount of books, that's been read so far, there's not a lot really of sequels that's been touched on.
But then that's, again, you run the risk because, Stray Dogs, for example, is current top spot. I haven't read Stray Dogs 2, but some will tell you it's nowhere near the same as Stray Dogs Volume 1. So, while Stray Dogs Volume 1 will always be that kind of spot for individual stories, as a whole, if you were to see Stray Dogs on that list quite low down, you'd be thinking the whole thing's rubbish and you wouldn't want to read it. So I think, again, it could work both ways, but I think you're right. I think that list needs filled. But I know I crack up my own jokes.
Imagine, like, I know this isn't the case, but imagine if season 4 is just sequels only. Imagine and like, it won't happen. I know that, but imagine getting through all that kind of stuff.
Should add the here and here as well with Martin, and if he joined us from season 2 onwards. Anytime we had a sequels month or a sequel book, Martin had to go back and reread from the start. Now, to be fair, I did as well.
Same.
I would kind of skim through things, but I would literally flick through a book to kind of catch up. Where Martin's having to read it from the start. So, like, if we were to do Saga, for example, that's 18 issues that Martin would have to read.
I would literally stop on the Wednesday night after we announce it, and then I will have to just start.
Go. The same.
2 issues, 3 issues a night. I'd have to just plow through it.
But that's saying there will be other people who be the same, I'd imagine.
You've got to do it. I think if you're going to get a true reflection of what you're going to score this book, you need to have read the volumes before. You can't go in and read a volume 2 and expect to give an honest opinion of something you've jumped halfway through a story. You'd never do that on a movie or a TV show. You wouldn't start halfway through. You'd have to burn through the first few issues.
Yeah, of course.
To get your opinion.
Same as novels as well, isn't it? You're not going to pick up the 3rd one in a 5-book series, are you?
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to do a shameless plug now. I'm going to show off some merch that we've got. We have created a bunch of hoodies, a bunch of T-shirts, some mugs, T-shirts for men and women. But yes, we got we got a zip hoodie as well, and we have just normal unzipped. What do you call them? Just full hoodies.
Pullover hoodies.
Just pullover hoodies. Yeah, so we got loads of them, various different designs of the logo. You can either have just the sheep head, or you can have the whole Nerd Herd comic book logo if you want as well. Same with the mugs. But if there is a color that you would like to see that isn't already there, let us know. We'll make it for you. And there is the link now. I've just posted the link in the chat, so you can go ahead and have a look if you'd like. But yeah, if you want to be even more part of the Nerd Herd crew, you can get one of these. We go to various conventions as well, so it'd be great to see you wearing our merch. It'd be fantastic to meet you as well. So there we go. Shameless plug over. For anyone,
they're nice quality as well.
Oh yeah,
nice quality. I need to get myself another hoodie.
Another one?
Yeah.
You have the sapphire one, don't you? The nice little light blue.
The Sonic blue.
Yeah, there we go. So Highland G is saying, I love my zip hoodie. Thank you very much, mate. And Tottenham Gaming, need a hoodie with your faces, please. No.
Remember once upon a time there was a guy when YouTube would ask you to stand up and show your t-shirt and all that kind of stuff.
That was a weird thing.
But you don't have everyone's live streams.
Yeah, that was weird.
Gaming, don't be the guy.
Don't be that guy. Okay, so So let me know now who's in the chat right now. I'll redo the wheel because I think a few people have left and come back. I'll redo the wheel right now. If you're here in the next few minutes, I will put your name in and I'll spin the wheel and we'll do one more giveaway for the merch. And if there's nothing else you guys want to talk about, then we can start to wrap up. Unless there is. So we've got Highland G, Tottenham Gaming, they're definitely here. There's another person watching, and I know you're there. Put a comment in. There he is. Okay.
There he is.
Lagoon. There we go. Chuck his name in. So out of these three, who? Oh, there we go. My computer always lags running this. So we have Tottenham Gaming, we have Luke Jones, and we have Highland G. Let's see, it's our last spin of the night. Let's see
who's taking it home.
There we go. Tottenham Gaming. Fantastic. Well done. Again, would you like the old bookmark, new bookmark, bit of both? You're also going to get stickers. And you're also going to get the book as well. And we all like this bit. This is my favorite edition, adding that. Phil, do you fill that in?
Yes. Every week.
Every week. Same.
Yeah.
There we go. Fantastic.
Tottenham Gaming, he did want a t-shirt with our faces on it. Now you can have a bookmark with our faces on it because the original bookmark has our faces.
Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Anything else you guys want to bring up?
I suppose we should look to the next 6 months, and obviously we're not going to tell everyone what we're reading, but in terms of I, for one, I'm very I'm excited to see how things go. I think there's some real quality books that should score highly, but again, the way we kind of judge things, with individual tastes, this could easily be a disaster for some of the picks as well.
I think there's some good picks. I think there's some good stuff on there because now I am privy to the list. There's some good stuff coming up. I'm looking forward to what we're going to be reading. So
it's like an inside man.
Yes.
And I'm privy to the list. I've seen it. I mean, we to be fair, I have to look at it, remind myself what's on there now and again because we made this at the start of the season. So I'm like, wait, what have we put down? What do we do? What's coming up? But yeah, looking at how many waves we've got left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 6 waves left, obviously. 6 months. And some really cool stuff. Really good stuff. As usual, a lot of good volume 1s. We do have some more sequels coming up for the next couple of months as well. It'll just be interesting to see what we do and how they get on.
Definitely. I say it's hard. It's hard to talk about it when you don't want to spoil anything. So it's,
I know.
There's some great titles in there, and it does cover a lot of everything. DC, Marvel, everything is there. So
that's what I was going to say for terms of as a fans that go forward the stuff. We literally have something for everybody.
Oh,
there's
100%.
superhero stuff. There's crime noir stuff. There's there's just different. There's
some quirky things.
Yeah. There's a few quirky books in there.
Yeah,
a few hard hitters in terms of ones that you would expect. That
top 10 books.
Exactly. So yeah, just join us for the ride. Just strap in and just look forward to it.
Well, we may as well tell everyone that we do have a sequels month coming up because we have one every year. Shall we tell them when?
Yeah, we could do that. Give everyone a head start so they can get their reading early.
Our sequels. Well, I'm not going to tell them the books.
Okay.
We'll tell them when. So our sequels month is going to be starting on the 14th of June.
Nice.
So we got three sequels there coming up. So one of each. It's going to be cool. It's going to be great. Really looking forward to that. But I'm trying to think. What else? What am I looking forward to for the year? I'm hoping for some new Herd's Choice people to join in, get their picks, and it's always really interesting to see what people pick as well, because again, it's sometimes it's stuff I've never heard of or stuff I have heard of I've never read or even bothered or wanted to read. So yeah, the Herd's Choice kind of stuff will really interest me.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. I mean, like I say, Martin's been here a few times. Lee was twice, did we say? It's like these are obviously guys we know, watch every week and so on, but we like to try and branch out to as many people as we can. I know there's people who listen to the podcast, and it's not easy for everyone to listen to us live on a Wednesday evening.
Of course, yeah.
But don't like that deter you. Like if the Herd's Choice is coming up and you are an avid listener of the podcast, just message one of us or message the Nerd Herd Instagram with your pick. You may not be in the show, but we'll read that book. So again, trying to get different people with different kind of tastes and so on every week. So like I say, if you are a listener and the Herd's Choice is coming up, it's usually, so the wave is three of us, obviously, 3 books each. So that third night we pick that book. So just let us know in advance what your pick is.
Yeah.
And try and get some different kind of names on that wheel, and again, different taste of books.
Definitely.
But try and make them good, because we've read some absolute trash too. Because
that's the point, isn't it?
I agree. I like the Herd's Choice stuff. I've put quite a few in so far, and it's going to be nice taking a seat back, back seat to it now, and seeing what other people want to put forward. But then looking forward down the head, I'm looking forward to chucking my picks into the mix at some point, and then hopefully change the dynamic completely, because I want to try and bring a bit of my taste in that might be a little bit different from everybody else's here already. So
I seen a comment at the start. I just want to see if I can find it actually. And it was Tottenham Gaming. It said about tastes. I think it was Tottenham Gaming.
He did,
Shane was DC. Here we are there. So Shade's DC. Scott's Indie, Phil's Marvel. Martin. The only thing I can think of different, in my opinion, is maybe like your 2000 AD stuff, like your Judge Dredd, maybe.
I don't mind some 2000 AD. I like some Dark Horse stuff, but I have to admit, my heart goes to DC. So I am with Shane on the DC side of things. But yeah, definitely there's a couple of indie titles.
Nice.
Indie companies that I like as well. So
looking forward to it. I can't wait.
Definitely.
It's going to be sweet. Okay. How do you think? How do you feel? Have we rounded up the show? Rounded up the season so far?
Yeah.
I think we covered quite a few books. Did we talk about the worst books? Did we cover any of the worst books that you guys felt we've read so far?
Well, we've talked about Daveocracy. We have talked about Battle Pug. Battle Pug.
That's a different book.
That would be a weird one. And Snot Girl. Those are our bottom 3 books of the whole of this season. I think it'll be a real struggle to beat, air quotes, beat Secret Wars 2, Strange Origins, and Witchblade.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't read them myself, but for that low score, I think that's going to be a challenge.
I think certainly this year, we have coming up. I wouldn't be fearful any of our picks heading that kind of territory.
No.
There have been times I've read some books. I was never like, I'm reading the book and I may have scored decent enough, but I just was not in the mood to read it. So I wouldn't call them the worst picks. Just books I just wasn't really into. I wasn't like, how to kind of get through it. And Layla's Star may have been one of them. Like I just didn't really want to read it. But I did say that in the show last week that I just wasn't in the mood to read it.
Yeah.
And that happens sometimes. Again, with the kind of the way we work, obviously every Wednesday. And if you're behind any reason, personal reason, if you're working or whatever, sometimes you do get the book late on, and it becomes you have to rush through the book. So there are books that I just, why am I reading this rubbish for? But it can't be
what it is.
I've got one question for both of you.
Yeah.
Right. Because now both of you have had probably the most so far. You've seen your scores. You've seen your average. Is there any book on your list you regret picking?
This year?
You could change this year, so far what you've picked, seeing your scores and your average, is there any book on your list you regret picking?
From my
if you could change it now. If you could change it right now, not say what you change it to, but if you could change that off your list and pick something else, what book would you have removed?
I mean, based on hindsight, probably, I'm going to say Davocracy because it's literally the bottom of the list right now. But I think, if I remember rightly, Battle Pug was quite a last-minute pick, wasn't it? Because I think my original pick for Christmas, we couldn't find it.
Yeah,
that's true.
It was, what was it? Red Xmas?
Red Xmas, and we couldn't find it. You're right. And it looked good. That actually looked okay. Like
it looked amazing, and that's why I chose it. And I thought it'd be like, because we really struggle with Christmas stuff. So that's why from next year onwards, for everyone to know, we're only going to pick one Christmas book on the Wednesday before Christmas, because it's so hard to find Christmas books and keep consistent. And I was really hoping that Red Xmas was going to be really good.
Yeah.
And it's a shame we couldn't get to read it. Yeah, I'll try and find out why. But so for me, Davocracy, I think.
Yeah.
Phil?
In terms of the score, in terms of the bringing my average down, I suppose my two worst ones were Vampire State Building and Naughty List. However, I wanted to read those, and I like Naughty List. I just think it was obviously just Scott and Liam didn't, which brought it down. But Vampire State Building, I still think I enjoyed it, but there's tons of other horror books that I could have picked ahead of it. So if I was just kind of hungry for the top score or whatever else, I could have picked other stuff, but that was just in my head to pick and to read, and but it wasn't as good as maybe I thought it was going to be. But like I say, I don't regret reading anything. It's just, Battle Pug and Snock Girl, but I don't regret them. But for that purpose, again, there's other books I could have picked if I wanted to have a high average score. Yeah.
There we go. How does that answer your question?
Yeah. Just good to know sometimes when you see those scores in front of you, it makes you think, how would I have done things a little differently? So I thought I'd ask a question. Obviously, next time round, we'll be at the end of the year. You'll be having a look at what you've done for the whole year. Yeah. I'll probably ask that same question again.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think I might come up with a few more questions next time at the end of it, because obviously where I haven't chose any, I've done Herd's Choice, and at the end of the year will be your guys' picks. I'm going to try and come up with a few questions so I can throw your way on that last show.
Great. That sounds really good. Look forward to it, mate. There we go. I think we've gone on long enough, if that's okay with you guys.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you very much for everyone who's joined. This has been a halfway show. I do like these kind of discussion things where we talk about everything as a whole. We do have a WhatsApp group where we do keep up to date, and we have after show discussions on there about the books that we've talked about and things, and so that's quite fun to get into. And we also talk about things, hey, has anyone seen this book coming out soon? So it's quite fun and quite interactive. So if you would like to join that, give us a message. We'll send you the invite link and you can join in our little Nerdhood community. But apart from that, the biggest part of this show today was announcing that Martin will be joining us for the foreseeable future on the Nerded Comic Book Club, and I'm absolutely chuffed. It's awesome, and I'm so pleased you said yes.
Yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be a good ride.
Amazing.
I'm looking forward to getting to that point where I can put my picks forward, and
yeah.
But we've got the next 6 months to go yet, so that's down the line. We've got a long time to go.
I'm looking forward to your horror pick for Horror Month.
Mm-hmm.
I've already got 2.
And we'll make him first pick then. Maybe also do it in stages. Just Martin gets first pick. The first pick of the new season.
Awesome. Brilliant.
Sounds good.
Nice one. Well, thank you very much for everyone who's joined in. For everyone who's won a prize, we'll reach out to you. We'll get your details. We can send stuff out to you. And that's it. Just one more thing left to do. Get your waves out. Bye. See ya.
See ya.
Bye. Bye, everyone. Love you.